Imagine two people. Let's call them person A and person B. They start at the same point. They are 28 years old. They have similar health. They have the same family situation, and they earn about the same money. They live in the same city. They work in similar conditions. They get tired in similar ways. The difference does not appear fast. At first, it looks small, almost funny, because the difference is in small, daily choices. Person A decides to add a few good habits. Not a new life from Monday, not a big motivation challenge, just 4 simple things. First, he tries to sleep more regularly. Not perfect, just around the same time. Second, he moves every day, sometimes a workout, sometimes a 30-minute walk. Third, he eats a bit cleaner. Not a strict diet, he just removes some sweets and random snacks. Fourth, he learns for 20 minutes a day, not in big bursts, on a schedule, like brushing teeth. Person B also does nothing terrible, but he builds different habits, also 4, also small. First, he goes to bed later more often, because evening is the only time for myself. Second, he moves less because I have too much to do. Third, he eats what is faster, and he takes sweets more often because it gives me energy. Fourth, he rests mostly with a screen, videos, social media, short clips, not because he is a bad person, because it feels easier. At the end of the first month, the difference is tiny. They both work, they both get tired, they both live a normal life, and many people say, habits do not change anything. But the problem is simple. 1 month is not enough. Habits are not an explosion. Habits are accumulation. 1 year passes. Person A is not a superhero, but he gets a few results. He feels a bit more fresh in the morning. He starts work more easily, and he feels, I can manage myself. He has fewer hard crashes because sleep and movement give stability. Person B does not fall apart either, but his picture changes in another way. He wakes up tired more often. It is harder to focus, so he uses quick fixes more often. More coffee, more sweets, more scrolling. Just 10 more minutes. And here is the key idea. Each time it looks harmless, but it becomes a system. By the end of the year, their income is still similar. Family life is still similar. Health is still similar. But inside, there is a difference. Person A feels control more often. Person B feels like life pushes him more often. 3 years pass. Person A builds one main skill. He can do important things even when he does not want to, because he trained it in small steps. He is not a genius. He is not made of steel. He just stops arguing with reality. It is easier for him to stay in shape. It is easier to say no. It is easier to stay calm under pressure. And yes, he also gets work benefits. Because 20 minutes a day is not just 20 minutes. Over 3 years, it becomes hundreds of hours. People invite him to better tasks. He has more ideas. He speaks with more confidence. He explains things better. Person B also collects hours, but different hours. Hours of late nights, hours of tired scrolling, hours of I will start later, hours of compensation. He is not lazy, he is burned out. Because screen rest often does not restore you, it just turns you off. Over time, person B feels this. I live like I am always catching up. 5 years pass. Now the difference is visible. Person A does not have a perfect life, but he has more stability. He looks better. He gets sick less often. He reacts calmer to problems. And he feels, I am growing.
His income is likely higher now, because skills plus energy plus discipline create progress. In his family life, he is more patient, he is more present. He has fewer emotional explosions, because he has less inner chaos.
Person B can still look fine from the outside, but inside there is more anxiety, more tiredness, more irritation, and a feeling that life became heavier. It is harder for him to change jobs, harder to learn, harder to train his body, because he has less energy. And the worst part is not even this. The worst part is what he starts to believe. I am just unlucky. I have no time. This is just who I am. But the truth is different.
This is not a story about a good person and a bad person.
It is a story about small percentages. If every day you get a little stronger, then after years you get a new life. If every day you get a little weaker, then after years you also get a new life. The difference does not show up fast. It grows quietly, like a crack in a wall. First, you do not see it. Then you notice a thin line. Then you wonder how it got so big.
If you are at the start, choose 2 or 3 habits, not more.
They must be small, so you can do them even on a bad day. For example, a 20-minute walk, sleep 30 minutes earlier, 1 cleaner meal, 20 minutes of learning. And the most important rule, do not judge the effect tomorrow. Look at the effect in 1 year. Because habits are not motivation, they are direction. And direction, repeated 1,000 times, becomes your destiny.